Hey, sexy souls. I was trying to come to get on here and it just kept spinning and spinning and spinning. So, yay, I guess. Uh, alrighty then. I do not know what was going on. Happy Sunday. Um, as y'all know, I like to do the live so that I can just, whatever. Not have to upload stuff. I do have things to upload. Y'all know how this goes for me. I did try to get it to do the vertical thing for the live, and it doesn't have that setting. Every time I come onto YouTube, the options for the settings are different. And I don't know what the problem is where it has it one time and not the other. It's irritating my soul. So, because you should be able to do like the vertical where it has the same window as like the shorts do. But apparently, whatever. Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Terry. Hopefully it gets better. Hopefully it gets better. Okay, so just to, we're kind of tapping into it's like an energy check-in, week ahead, that kind of stuff. Maybe some next steps. I can't really tell exactly, but we're gonna dive in. I Let me give you my spiel. You are a sovereign being of your life. Um, Yeah, thank you, Terry. I'm like, "What the f" like, people are like, "You should be able to do this," and I'm like, "It's not there." And then one time it was, and I was like, "Oh, is this what people are talking about?" And then it's gone again. I'm like, "What is going on?" Anyways. So you are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. My recommendation is never to Cinderella it to make it fit. I am happy, however, that even despite the heat dome that we are experiencing, because we are I guess the hottest it's been in 100 years or something like that. Anyways, um, that it cooled down enough last night that when my air conditioner was working, it got nice and cool in here. And so, or at least downstairs. Upstairs is another story. I got to put my sweatshirt on. It was really nice. I know it's gonna be short lived. It's gonna get muggy real soon. Real soon. So, anyways, okay, let's go ahead and figure out where we're gonna start. So there's something over here. Okay. Madame Endor's fortune telling deck. Let's start there. That doesn't feel right. That didn't even get a chance to really shuffle. So, okay. Okay, there's that one. A temptation may lead you astray. Temptation may lead you astray. I gotta be honest with you. At best, this feels like something that has already presented itself. Um, it feels more like something or someone that attempts to tempt you, but it doesn't work because I don't feel the temptation. It's like I can witness something trying to tempt me. And it's like, yeah, that's not like you're definitely going to notice some kind of difference because something that once used to, things used to derail you, I feel like, even if it was briefly, but it's I mean, I get a feeling of a singular focus and nothing else kind of seems to really pull me in, if that makes sense. But that doesn't mean that things or people don't try. Yeah, triumph over adversity. So this feels like overcoming some kind of temptation, or just at least getting to a place where, like I said, things are not derailing you. Reckless actions lead to conflict. Okay, so whatever is attempting to whatever is trying to tempt you. Definitely, if you were to go after it, could create some conflict. Funny thing is, I don't feel that they're saying that. There's something about fire more than anything. I'm drawn more to their show. It has the different fire signs written on it. I'm looking more at that. There's something about fire sign energy. You want me to put that up? I feel like the cards that are popping off with energy, like on the onset, something about like they highlighted this deck, and I was like, I don't think so, right? And then it was like this, and I was like, okay. And something about the cards don't necessarily feel like they're matching exactly what they're saying. And then this deck, and I'm like, this deck doesn't go with that deck. There's something about energies having the appearance of not matching, like something. It's an odd pairing. There we go, an odd pairing. I'm like, okay, I don't see it, but okay. That's what I'm doing to spirit right now. So we shall see. Focus and then act. Okay. Time to ground. So this leads to reckless actions, can end up in conflict. Focus and then act. So there's something about like not shooting off with the mouth, not acting uh, off of impulse. Time to ground. Okay. We're at a place where it still feels a little like, what the fuck? So we're just gonna see where it leads us. There very well might be something that is happening or about to happen in your life that just seems to not make a lot of sense. Like the string of events or the pairing of things is kind of like, okay, this is not what I thought. There's something like off about something. Did I know that you were a Sagittarius, Terry? I didn't think I knew that. Follow the moon, which is following your intuition. So you may get really fucking irritated at something. Like something is going to make a very concerted effort at trying to, I feel like, drudge up some dirt. So we got creeks around here, right? Where I'm from. And either really bad storms can dredge up a lot of muck and everything within the creek beds. And so they get very murky and you can't see clearly and stuff, and they get a bit haphazard as a result, things like that. It's kind of reminding me of that. So it's almost as if I feel though something wants to tempt you, but you're not taking the bait. And so the siren isn't going to take that, isn't going to find, isn't going to be happy with that. And they may try to muck some things up, basically. Okay. When they do, you're going to want to think some things through, okay? You're going to focus and then act. Don't be impulsive as a result of whatever it is that they do. You need to take a more concerted effort to address that. Or it feels more like thinking something through, not even necessarily how to address that, actually. It feels as though like walking up to an area and you know that there's bear traps. And so you know how to maneuver through the landmines almost that the siren may try to set. Okay. So something's not going to be very happy. Someone's not going to be very happy that you do not fall for or get lured in. And so they're going to set some traps, and you're going to need to be able to kind of just like And anybody who that's where the grounding comes in. It's kind of like, don't get caught up in the emotions or the chaotic thoughts as a result. Like, that's why they're going to this extent, is to kind of like trick you, trap you, trip you up, that kind of situation, right? And so it's like, literally, if you just pause a little bit, focus, you'll know how to maneuver without getting without even coming close to any of the landmines that they've set. Um, but if you get wrapped up in the emotions and the chaotic thoughts and the anger because they're trying to pull some shit, that's where you're gonna trip your own self up. Okay? You'll end up landing on one of those landmines. You know what I mean? So just I feel like that's where the methodical kind of comes in. Follow the moon, follow your instinct, your intuition. It's not gonna lead you astray. It's almost as if it's like you kind of can preemptively know all this is happening, and I feel as if you somehow at a guttural level know the tricks and things like that, and that things come to you because I get the sense and feeling like the siren will try to utilize other people as well, and like you're gonna get hits and you're like, but it's like it's better to have the observe and know than to lay all your cards out and let people know you know kind of thing. That's what it's feeling like to me. So follow your instinct, follow your gut when it tells you something. Right now, it's really heightened. And even if you can't logically put an explanation to why you're feeling something, trust what you're feeling and just move accordingly. Like, I don't really know if this person would do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do X, Y, and Z, or I'm not gonna go to that thing, or I just feel like something might whatever. It's gonna irritate the shit out of the siren. Can I just tell you? But they really want to trip you up. I don't know who they are. Hold on. Oh Lord. Oh, whatever the temptation is not good for you. But I feel like saying you see through the tricks. Just like the sailors who go out, see, who don't fall for it, or like the people in Appalachia who hear the sounds and they're like, "Don't whistle back, like, don't pay attention, don't acknowledge the whistle, just get inside." Like, you know better. There's something you know better than, right? Because it's trying to lure you to something. Um, okay. So they want new era elements. All right. Do I even want to ask about the siren? Triumph over adversity, as long as you stay rooted and grounded, you're fine. Which really just means not getting sucked in to the fucking drama, right? And doing your best to kind of like steer clear of it rather than getting pulled into the emotions of it. You'll be fine. Ooh, a chariot. I get Dory. Just keep moving, moving, moving. Because it's the rhino spirit, right? The rhino spirit, nothing slows it down. A rhinoceros will move shit out of its way. It's not slowing down. It's not going around. It'll get removed, right? So there's this charging forward, forward trajectory. Be unconcerned with any of those things. Now, I'm not saying charge right over a landmine. I'm saying don't let it slow you down. Stay focused. Keep moving forward. You're going to have success. Almost as if I want to say, ignore that it's happening in the sense of make it look like Make it look like, to others that you're completely, utterly ignoring the ever loving shit out of it. Even if you are so super aware, and even if you keep getting signs and synchronicities and information from others around you, it's like, don't ever let on that you know exactly what's happening, because that gives acknowledgement to it, and that will fuel the fire. So 7 of Wands. I heard the word self-preservation. Uh, it's going to confuse the hell out of them. Keep them guessing. There's a sense of like, you don't feed something, you don't acknowledge it. You slow down, look at it, maneuver around it. Um they're giving me this sense of, you know how like when you go out into the wild and like sometimes you just like if you encounter something you freeze. There's certain animals where they're like, don't look at it, don't look at it. Just stay right there, just stay right there. Um, because it's almost like the eye contact is what, you know what I mean? So there's, you pretend as if it's not even there. You don't react. And I don't know why I'm getting this scenario of like intentionally avoiding. You know, like sometimes you'll see an animal in the wild and you'll walk way far. You kind of like walk way around it, like, you know what I mean? As if like you're just avoiding the shit out of it. And so there may be events or things or people that you distance yourself from just in an attempt to never have to make eye contact with this thing. So this has got to be a person that you're avoiding that's wanting to kind of set landmines and things like that for you. Um, they are a heavy attention seeker, so you can't give it to them because even a glimpse of it, and they're like, "Oh, I know I can get to them now," and they'll keep trying. They'll keep upping the ante. I get they're giving me a sense that somebody may try to play victim in some scenario, like, oh, like, they want people to have pity on them, and they might try to do the doe eye, "I'm just an innocent something or other," and it's like but in all of that, there's landmines waiting for you, so you need to know, bear traps. They're going back to the bear traps, there are bear traps, um, so avoid that. You have something like, you have your sights set on an intention, and all you need to do is focus on that and not because again, it's like if you step off the path, that's where the traps are laid. That's where you'll you know what I mean? Um, okay. Like you just need to be worried about you and only you. So like this is about taking care of yourself and self-preservation, and remaining in your power. The 7 of Wands. Uh I just get this like 7 of Cups, act oblivious in a way. Yeah. Um, the World card, Universe card, as it's called in this particular deck, it's because something is wrapping up and other things are opening up for you. Like this some kind of chapter is closing and something wants it's almost like something or someone is behaving in a way where it's like I'm just a doe. I'm just a doe, a female deer. Um, I'm just this innocent thing, and and they act really It's an act. There's an act. But if you get pulled in by it, if they can garner your attention away from your trajectory, your goal, your intention, and then make it about them, it's like it's going to set landmines in your life and or bear traps. They keep it's going to set bear traps. Okay. Um, and so just keep moving forward. Ignore it. Act as if it's kind of like even like sometimes we will have like sometimes like depending on the circumstance with what child that you have, but sometimes you have to ignore them the fit that they throw or the the screaming in order to because like if you react to it and it works, then it's kind of like then they do it again. And I'm not talking about like when a baby is crying at night. That's what I'm talking about like a toddler who is like, I'm gonna scream until I get my like there's something about you giving it no energy or attention and whatsoever kind of snuffs out the energy or the light of this thing. And it's happening because maybe a bit of desperation, but something's wrapping up. And again, it's the idea of just before you walk through a threshold, something's going to try to pull you back, right? You just need to go ahead, like the spirit's addressing this and saying, you just need to go ahead and get this taken care of and wrapped up. Move forward, finish it off, and move beyond. And right now is the time where you get to secure a victory for yourself in whatever it is that you're wrapping up. You get sidetracked and derailed, those landmines will prevent you from having or I'm sorry, but I keep saying a landmine because it feels like it would explode, like your life would explode. But it's a bear trap because actually what it is it traps you to the point where you wouldn't be able to close something out. It would create a massive stagnation and trap within your life. That's what it would do. Um, and so just you like something about the current circumstances and wrapping something up and finishing it actually secures like now is the time for you to be victorious. It's funny because on the grounding card, her eyes are closed and her third eye is open. And again, the same thing came out with the moon. It's like you know better. You see it. Even if others can't. Um I'm gonna post some more cards. We got the seven of pentacles with the Empress. This is gonna wrap up really fast. Like when I say this kind of goes along maybe with the analogy that I used yesterday of like at the end of the marathon. And it's usually just before the finish line where someone's body collapses, right? And it's like you almost can't uh get like it's one of those things where it's like if you pay attention to your body and listen to your body, you'll start feeling weak and you're like, something about seeing the end near. It kind of makes triggers you to be very aware of, and then you start to slow down a little bit, and that's when the fatigue and the glucose spikes and different things like that can take over and cause you to collapse. And they're like, don't pay attention to any of that. There's a mind over matter in this situation, where your mindset and your focus really matter. Really is what's going to get you through. So it's not paying attention to that and making it past the because some of those people who collapse, once you do, you can't get back up. Um, and so it's the idea of not giving into any of those things. So something is it can it's happening really fast. Just ignore this thing. Yeah, because I mean, when like just ignore it and push through. Some kind of like pattern, or again, the devil card makes me feel like um you have felt confined within a cycle, and it's like you are finally breaking out of something, and it all hinges on you not getting caught up in your mind, or letting your mind get caught up in what's happening around you. It is about, again, it's making the decision to cut yourself free. I'm curious as to the this feels like a delayed Empress energy. Um, but one that eventually happens, because with the 7 Pentacles, it's kind of like it's, the gestation period takes some time, and sometimes longer than you think. You're like, "Okay, this should have sprouted by now. What's going on?" And it has a mind of its own. It sprouts in its own time, and so something finally breaks ground. So it's like what has felt like a perceived failure, like I can't achieve, you actually achieve. So it's just a delayed Empress, but I'm kind of like wondering if this is like a delayed, like you walking into your Empress era in a delayed fashion, or because I'm getting a very masculine energy that gets to experience an Empress energy, a time of abundance, ease, reciprocity, receiving. It's kind of like things that have been backed up behind a dam almost. But I'm not really sure. I'm like, am I getting that right? Tell me about the Empress, please. Maybe stuff has delayed you from connecting with an Empress. I don't know. That's where I'm trying to. There's the abundance. Oh, yeah. And then there's the. Oh, yeah. Okay. So something has definitely delayed your prosperity and abundance, is what I want to say. So, and you receiving that. So you entering into an Empress era. Ooh. Tower and Wheel of Fortune. See, it's the thing where a tower moment is experienced. You see all these people down here? Multiple people witnessing, experiencing this tower moment, but how they witness it and whether it's positive or negative depends on each individual. So this moment, this closing of a cycle chapter, a part of your life, is a tower moment, but it's not just for you. Right? It's a tower, it's a collective kind of tower moment. Whether that's a small collective like you and your family, or, just you between the people that you know. It's like whatever happens, this closure impacts a multiple people. And for you, it's a turning of the tides towards prosperity, luck, um, energy, and the universe kind of like moving in your favor. Okay. It has been really, really rough and difficult. You've had a lot of grief to experience, um, and pain as a result of this delay. So that's why spirit's like, pay no mind to the temptation. Then let's find out what this temptation is specifically for you and the source of it. Like, so that you can, again, I feel like your intuition is going to tell you, like, it doesn't feel like you're going to get wrapped in. But as a confirmation, what is this temptation? Who or what is a siren? Queen of Swords. Eight of Swords. Six of Pentacles. There's somebody that's like, you're about to walk through a threshold and a door. And it's almost as if somebody, that's why it feels so innocent at first. They present it so innocently. I want to say it's a very feminine type of energy that's like dangles help, resources, um, assistance as a like a gift. Six of Pentacles. But it ends up actually limiting you and shortening your force. It's almost like if you accept their help, their assistance, their blah 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 blah, they're gonna try to lure you with, I can do this for you, or what if I give you this, or what if about this, or it's like somehow they're trying to position themselves so they look like they are beneficial to you and they're kind of like on your team, and it's gonna and like you should, I don't know if it's like keep me around or I could be of benefit. How about I help you with this? Or like it's them trying to walk through that threshold with you. But it's a trap. It's a trap. It is a trap because Eight of Swords is like limitations. And down here it's called shortened force. What you're able to do and accomplish as a result of having them involved in anything is actually going to limit things because she has a sword drawn. And see how quickly she's willing to just like take off with the head. It's like the Queen of Hearts in a way, but she's really the Queen of Swords. Um, Definitely feels like the person that would poo-poo on a lot of stuff and actually act as an obstacle. This person must cut you down in a passive aggressive manner for some of you. Like their words are cutting, their words act as limitations. Um, like the advice that they give is actually detrimental to you, or if they walk through the threshold with you, they act as if somehow that they have some kind of say and authority in how things unfold. It's like it's the idea of like there's strings attached to the help, the assistance, however they're trying to position themselves. And so at all cost, say no. You've got this because again, it keeps the door open, their foot in the door with you in your life and whatever else you begin to build in your life. And then they think that they have a say. And then you have to be careful with that because then you're giving them leverage to have a voice in your life. And it's like once they get in your head, like if you let somebody have a voice in your life, then they can become a voice in your head. And that's where they become this shortened force. And they will present and curate and create drama and situations where you feel like you can't do something because they are there. And that's true. Like that they will be the chain or the tether for you in regards to certain situations. So it's going to be guised as let me help, blah, 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 blah. Um, because your success, they feel is their earned success. This is the card of earned success. And it's like they will always have a hand in. And so they always get to benefit or profit from. Or it's like it's giving, I get to siphon the energies, or you never get to claim something solely as your own. There's a sharedness here. So it's not really help, because help and assistance is done out of the goodness of somebody's heart. Again, this has strings attached. Um, you need to move away from this person permanently. And it feels as though you have the opportunity to, which is why they're saying now's the prime time. Um, keep them guessing. Don't share information. I think that's why they're like, stay the course. Don't give them any attention, because in, invariably you may share something that gives them insight to what's going on. You need to keep them guessing. Seven of cups illusion. You need to keep them guessing as to what's happening. Okay. They cannot be privy to the things in your life. Hence why if they are at a location or an event, probably best that you don't go. And this is also where I felt like they're pulling in other people, because other people will tell them shit. So now you have to be careful of what you say to some people that you think is harmless or it shouldn't matter. Things get back to them. So this is where a tight lip, like the idea of like loose lips sink ships. Mm-hmm. Just don't. Yeah, this needs to be a clean break for you. Okay. You need to start moving away. And some things may be a process, right? Like whatever you're wrapping up, as far as like the Six of Swords is, it's kind of like there is a progression of moving away from and like tying up loose ends, so to speak, in order to be able to get fully away from somebody. But Knight of Swords is eventually you're going in the opposite direction. You're going in a fashion where they cannot go. They cannot cross that threshold with you unless you invite them in. And so this is a clean fucking break. This is a permanent severance from whoever this is. Um, you have to walk away completely, completely. Where dare I say they don't have access to you. That's what the clean break is. The Knight of Swords. This is a change, the pivot. All three of these fucking cards, exact same thing. Six of Swords, Knight of Swords, Eight of Cups. They're not mincing words here. They're not. This isn't some kind of covert message. They're out and outright telling you permanently break ties with this energy. Now, the Queen of Swords could also be a typical masculine in your life, but they are operating in the Queen of Swords with the sword drawn, waiting to sabotage at any moment. Really sharp with their words, cutting. I get this very underhanded, like they sow seeds of doubt and they create chaos within your mental state. With there's manipulation with this Queen of Swords. Yeah. Getting away from this person permanently allows you to have material happiness. You get your wish. Hey, Blueberry. You get your wish. Okay. So you're going to get exactly what you want. And it's imperative that this person has no access to you. Ignore the shit out of them right now. Finish up whatever you got to finish up. Tie up loose ends. Let them know nothing. Stay as far away. And when they try to pull some things, like if they try to start talking to other people and it's like, I just want to do this, or because I get the feeling like somebody else may be like, well, why don't you just go ahead and let so and so do this, because they will present so doe-eyed and so sweet and so like, I've just had the best interest for you. No, the fuck they don't. They know you walk through that threshold, they will have no more access to you whatsoever. And I get this feeling that this person benefits to some degree. That's where that siphoning energy comes from. And so, and again, when the help doesn't, that's the temptation, and they may offer it multiple times and offer up advice. They're the Queen of Swords. Don't trust it. This is not a positive Queen of Swords right here. Um, they'll start planting little traps, and that's going to come in the form of other people showing up at events, um, almost like presenting themselves in a way that's very positive because they can't get to you, but maybe other people can. S- You may just not want to go to anything. You may not want to hang out with certain people. You may want to get through this, complete everything like the world card says. I feel like there's like final contracts and it is a complete severance. The Knight of Swords that is cutting any and all ties. Period. And if that means there are people that you all share with this person that they will always use as leverage, and these people are too stupid to not see any differently, then I suggest that you cut ties with them as well. Sorry, sometimes they hold. Wait, which feminine this is in mine. Ooh. Yes. Um, so okay. So, and again, like I said, they're going to come across as very helpful and want to give you assistance, and and this may be somebody who you actually they've offered before and you took them up on it. Um, they will try to position where it's like you could use my help. Don't, don't. There's something about the severance of this person in your life that makes everything exponentially better. Just period. Okay. Anything else about we're going to use divine doors to wrap this up. I am feeling like a second message is necessary. I don't know if I should do it live or if we need to do it pre-recorded. Okay, what do you want to say about this? Like your spidey senses need to go off if they say you could use help with this, or you know what, I've always done this, or I've done this for you before. I could be just like this. They may present it so innocently, and you fucking know. I feel like saying you know better. Remember I said like you know the catch, like as soon as you know better with this temptation. So they must have done some shit before where it's like by taking their help, shit goes south. There's been events before, but they always try to present themselves as some kind of like benefactor for you. And innocently so too. Oh, live. Hello. All right, what do you want to say with this one? A distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free. As you dare dream it, so must it be. Yeah, the more you distance yourself from this, I'm fucking telling you. The more you distance yourself from this and allow yourself to just kind of like move on, your dreams come true. So you dare dream it, so must it be. It's like, okay. They're reiterating that. Time here turns to release and unfurl. Old cords of pain fade as the sun's light burns. So again, Knight of Swords, cut those cords completely, irrevocably. That's the thing about the Knight of Swords. There is no turning back once that is done. They will have no more access to you. Birth. Another gateway appears in view. Fucking new life is unfolding with blessings to you. That's why you don't want anything tethered to them. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And some people just they're gonna keep falling for it, and other people will be the ploys. And again, you need to cut them too. Okay? All right. I think the first one is going to be called They Present All Doughy-Eyed. Mm-hmm. Bullshit is what it is. Bullshit. I wonder what that odd pairing energy I was getting in the beginning about in the beginning. I don't know what I'm saying, y'all. I just learned to talk yesterday. Okay, so we'll do another read. What time is it? It is 45. So I'm going to put it at the 45-minute mark that there's a second read. First one is They Present All Doughy-Eyed. I got to remember this shit. But I know I said the title at 45, so I forget. Look, ADHD at its best. When I tell you, I'm like, yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with a Starman Tarot. Let's see where it goes. Oh, good. Because when I say, again, like the marathon, somebody's here and the finish line is here. When I say if you pay attention to any of those other things and get distracted, I'm going to take you down. Going to take you down. So, Terry. I do miss your fun-loving energy, Terry. You've always been really fun. On my lives. So I'm glad to see you again. I sure hope work gets better. I'd assume that since it's been so long, work's been kicking your ass. Oh gosh. Ooh. Frickin'. Ugh. Sorry, I know that was loud. My bad. Two of Wands. Okie dokie. I put it down. I heard man in the sky, and I'm like, okay. I don't know what that's about, but Starman. That's the magician in this one. Either you're being encouraged to, or somebody is about to take some kind of action towards a manifestation they've wanted. I heard take a step towards your manifestation. Like if you've attempted to make moves towards something before and it didn't work, if you do it this time, it's going to happen. Okay. Eight of Pentacles. So, do you have a goal or a desire in regards to something that you've committed to, put and dedicated time into? Something that you want to see through to the end, see through to the end? Okay. And then there's the Star, the Hierophant, you experienced difficulty in bringing a manifestation into your reality, bringing something that you desire and want. You experienced difficulty before. You've remained steadfast and committed to it. You still, despite not either knowing how or being able to, you still have a commitment to whatever this thing is that you want to take place in your life. Look, you can't really see it, but sometimes just as a precaution, okay? Just as a precaution. Even though you couldn't make it happen, you still kept trying to move towards it, work towards it. Queen of Pentacles is somebody that is capable of it all, can do it all, has the capacity. Everything within them, very similar to the magician. Only with the magician, there's a level of influence or power over the elements. You're able to wield and manipulate something into being. Like you're more in control of the situation and the energies at play. But it's like you only really get to do that or be that or be able to do that if you maintain yourself within. Okay. Because the Queen of Pentacles is also like close to the Nine of Pentacles, like that badass bitch on their own, like really capable of so much, like the well of both capacity and possibility. Like maybe they've never been able to do it in their life, but everybody knows that they could. Sometimes that requires, but see, that requires having all the tools necessary. She can wield all of the elements, but if she doesn't have all the resources, she's still left at just having the capacity to do something and not actually bringing it into reality, right? Um, Star card does give me the energy of wish fulfillment, but also like being guided. Oh no, I just bent my deck. My bad. Let me see here. What is this about? The Hierophant does represent the High Priestess is the creation of it, the idea of it, the field of possibilities, right? But Hierophant is making manifest that which is in the etheric, in the field of possibilities, into your reality. Like bringing something, giving structure to it within your life, making it a reality. Hence why it's under the magician, the starman. So we almost repeated it 2 times. So this may be like something like your second go round at something. 9 of Cups. A wish. It's like 2 of Wands is you taking decided action, right? The star is spirit guiding you. So it's both, it's like spirit working with you as you're trying to move towards something. It's being given all the resources necessary. Where are we going with this? I feel like there's some kind of like coded something that I'm not seeing. Like unbeknownst to you, in this time frame when you had to remain steadfast, because Eight of Pentacles does talk about your consistency and steadfastness with something is what led to you being the prime individual to be able to do something. This is why because the Queen of Pentacles has mastered all the elements within. She may not be able to have all the resources to utilize the skill sets that she's developed and the person that she's become. Um, but that happens with the magician. There's a receiving. There is fuck. Okay, I get it. Someone here is the Queen of Pentacles. And I don't mean this in a negative way, so stick around for this. But you're not, whoever's the Queen of Pentacles is not the magician. There's somebody else who does have all the resources or has access to all the elements to be able to actuate something. Someone is being guided to take action. Whoever is the magician is like the Hierophant is the idea of like has a sense of authority within a particular sphere. They can make somebody's wishes come true. Because the Three of Pentacles, there's this collaborative working together energy to create and build something. So whoever the Queen of Pentacles is somebody that's it's like the architect, but not having the resources or the tools to be able to do the thing that you are so well equipped to do. And there's this bringing these two together. And dare I say, whoever the starman is, because they sit like they've already created something. And I find it funny that they are presenting this individual as the Hierophant versus, say, the Emperor. There is much more of a very in touch with their intuitive, I hate to say it like this. They're you, but with more. Somebody who is open and listens to guidance, is in touch with their intuitive nature. Same as the Queen of Pentacles has the capacity, has the wherewithal, has developed that inner world and capacity to be able to do something. Only they were afforded the opportunities, the leverage, like the magician has, with having access to all the resources in order to be able to do something. So they did not get into the position they're in by emperoring, like conquering, through any kind of ruthless actions, or without having to like climb some kind of ladder the way the emperor does. There's no conquering anything. They themselves manifested this, and they only reached the Hierophant status because they did so in conjunction and cooperation with spirit. So they have history of having a wish, a dream, a goal, and making it happen. They may come across as somebody who gets a lot of the things that they want. Almost as if like maybe the universe is favors them a little bit. That could be somebody's like impression of them, like, dang. Like anytime you want to do something, you always like somehow the resources always come to you to be able to do it. Like, you know, doesn't indicate that this person doesn't have quote unquote, struggles or anything else like that. Um, but the difference between you and them is that while you have been like, I could do X, Y, and Z if I just had this, and this as a resource, you've never been afforded that. They have, which can, when you hear it, you get a little biffed about, like, I think that we frequently encounter people like the only difference is they had access to X, Y, and Z. One and again, it doesn't indicate that they didn't have to work or that they didn't have to be a certain caliber of a person, but it's like, man, if I had that, I could have done the same. Um, and so I get the sense of irritation when somebody else has been given this and they come to you to share it with you. Why did you get it and I didn't? Like, why do I have to borrow from you or have you bless me with the resources? You know what I mean? Versus me being able to come into it my own. Because again, this is a shared, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a sharedness here. There is a let's work on this together. And it's like there's a hesitancy to that. It is yours. And can I just say, spirit's like yapping at you to take the opportunity. And there's a part of you that's like, you know what? You need to back off and give me a minute. Like, you don't wanna hear it. You don't wanna hear it at all. I cannot help but wanna say, why did they get what did they do to earn that blessing? You know what I mean? Where they get the resources to be able to be their fullest potential. Especially when you've committed and maintained some level of commitment and steadfastness to this. You've kept at it. Okay, am I right? Because that's what this shit feels like. So the Queen of Pentacles, there's just a way that I look at the tarot, but the Queen of Pentacles always elevates into the Empress. Like, you don't become the Empress without first becoming all of the queens. But you don't become the Queen of Pentacles until you've already mastered the other three queens. So Empress, Three of Cups, Queen of Cups, Page of Wands. Page of Wands, automatically, it's like a project or endeavor, right? There's some kind of project or endeavor. And can I say it's something that can, again, we're back with the Knight of Swords, where it's like whatever this project or endeavor is, it's a golden opportunity, a golden egg. And as long as you take action towards it, it can change, it can make massive change within your life. What is this? Empress, Three of Cups, Queen of Cups. If only you're willing to receive this. This endeavor, this project, this whatever that gives you access to the resources you've just always needed. It seemingly bumps if you just receive like the Empress. Abundance flows your way. 3 of Cups. You will experience abundance. You might be a bit biffed at having to. It feels charity. It feels like you're feeling like this is just charity. And there may be some like a chip on your shoulder that you have with spirit of I put in just as much work as they did, and I did not get X, Y, and Z. I was not able to achieve it. This is a running thing for a lot of feminines, especially with the cultural, societal, global climate where you are only given access or granted something through a man. And that can feel yeah. My question is this. I don't understand the need for the Queen of Cups to come out. I'm most certainly feeling like a very intuitive, psychic energy around her. But your willingness to receive really leverages you towards abundance. And something about this Queen of Cups also is about vulnerability. And your ego may be preventing you from being vulnerable enough to accept something. Because it feels, it does feel like it's like you only get something through the good graces of some charitable act by somebody else. They have achieved something and garnered access to things that you worked very fucking hard for, that you had to sustain somehow through this exorbitant amount of like I get like this sense of it most certainly feels unfair because it's almost as if they didn't do anything differently than what you did. And those efforts that you put in should have been sufficient enough to leverage access into the resources that you need, but it hasn't. Just as capable. And they somehow, they are your access point. Okay. So it's about being willing to receive, being open and vulnerable. Like humbling yourself a little bit. Yeah, Queen of Swords. She wants to come out. Dare I say you want to rage on something. I mean, it's like you're willing to sabotage this. Like it puts you in a very defensive energy and stance. Puts you up in your head. Like wanting to seek some kind of justice because why did they get Page of Swords? Oh, you might get a little sharp with your tongue. And maybe before you sever this opportunity, you look a little further into it. Talk to me about the Queen of Swords. Page of Swords. Yeah, I mean, you might want to think about this a little bit because if you nix this, you might sever the possibility of a new start. And you're really only operating in the Queen of Swords because in this moment you do recognize how much that hurts, that you put forth just as much as somebody else, but they were given the advantage over you. And that can be hard to wrap your head around. Because really in this reality, there's enough resources to go around for everybody so that it is really an equal playing field. It is unfair that other people get access to opportunities, resources, help, and others do not when we are all equally deserving. Um, I also want to say that turning away from this, um, there's something about this person that's like they're kind of in your soul family. Um, and it's in rejecting this offer, you're really rejecting this because it's 6 of Cups with the Lovers. It feels like two people that have some kind of, dare I say, soul contract or whatever with one another. And this doesn't have to be love. It could be, I was always meant to lead the way so that I'm the one that gives you the access to these opportunities so that nobody can sabotage it. Um, and you might regret with the Three of Swords cutting this off preemptively without really seeing it for what it is, and the Page of Swords is like gathering more information about this, like really assessing it because 6 of Cups, this is just a soul family member ensuring that everybody gets access to their destiny without undue um, difficulties as a result. And it could be that this is more than just you getting the resources. There's love to it. It could be that as well. But at its basic, it's kind of like, well, maybe that was my job is that I go first so that we can ensure beyond a shadow of doubt that the others get the access as well. Because something about when resources fall into quote unquote the wrong hands, they become very exclusionary. But Spirit knew this person would always offer up the opportunities to be inclusionary and not exclude others. Now you could position yourself like, "But so do I," and that very well may be true, but also think about the times. Whoever this is a very feminine energy, and it's no coincidence that we brought up the fact of gender being gender or gender identity being the thing that seems to be, you know, like why do I have to get something through a man? Because if you were the person that went first, the amount of attacks because of the current climate of society, and spirit knew well what was coming down the pike. The amount of attacks you would have experienced as opposed to this person would have been immense. And in fact, society at large may have deemed would have stolen this from you, and then you couldn't be a gateway to anybody. And so the one thing I do know about spirit, while spirit does not frequently create the conditions in which they have to operate, that would be humans. Spirit is an opportunist. They will assess and they will take measures and move in such a manner to garner and ensure success despite what fucking humans do. And if it meant putting a man that they knew would be inclusionary versus exclusionary as the gatekeeper to the resources, to the opportunities, then that's what they'll do. Because their goal is to get everybody through that fucking door, not have that shut down, delayed, and removed as a possibility all to begin with from the get-go. Spirit's playing chess, not checkers. And spirit moves in the manner for the greater picture and the greater good. And if you're wondering how you're saying it's unfair, spirit understands. And this is their way of trying to make an unfair situation fair, because you do deserve access to all of these resources, to all of these opportunities. Spirit agrees. But not everybody, given the opportunity, listens to spirit. Spirit is very strategic about, especially in today's society, really trying to get individuals. Because remember, I said he's a hierophant. This motherfucker works with spirit. They need somebody that's working with them, not against them. You know how many motherfuckers will pretend at first, and then the moment they get some kind of power or leverage, they fucking stop and it's all of them? That's the emperor. That's the fucking emperor. This motherfucker works with spirit, listens, maneuvers in that way. They can be guided. They understand the plan. They will honor it. So if it means this person going first, because let's be real, they had to do just as much as you did, right? You even acknowledge this. So it's not like it's free Scott, whatever, you know what I mean? But spirit worked hard to put and help and assist and guide this person into this position, because this person would make sure the others within their soul tribe got access as well. Spirit needs all of you all, right? And there is that sense of spirit can create dynamics and situations where you almost feel forced to do something, but they can't force you to do something. So they can't control that other people would attempt to sabotage this shit intentionally because of who you are. Because you are seen as weak, vulnerable, insignificant, whatever it is. So did spirit use someone's gender or gender identity or however they come across as leverage to get this person in the position that they are so that the door could be open and that nobody else could do something about it, you damn right. Spirit did. And I'm here to tell you, Spirit does not feel guilty, bad, sad, or anything else like that. And much like they can't force all these other Yahoo and idiots to really share the wealth, they can't force you to walk through this threshold. But it's here because this is something that you do deserve. And this is a position in which you do belong. And it just so happens that it's with either somebody that is soul family or somebody that is a soulmate and a soul connection. They can't help that in this society, a group of individuals seemingly get an advantage. That is not something Spirit wants, and Spirit works against it. And Spirit even utilizes situations, circumstances to try and amplify by pushing the needle so that more people move into that communal, loving one another kind of energy. But they can't force people to change. All they can do is play with like the sound guy that has all these little buttons and things. They're playing, they're doing their best, but people can fight against it. And so, yes, it would have been nice if they got their stuff, you got your stuff, and then y'all came together in joy and everything. But that's not the fucking reality of the world that we live in, and Spirit understands that. So you can stay in your ego and be really pissed that things transpired the way that they did. But you can't ever fucking say Spirit didn't give you the fucking opportunity. Because yes, they did. You chose not to take it. Because your ego was more important. Do with that information as you will. So, alrighty. And there's that. So that is a message for today. Messages. Yep. So I hope the message finds whoever it's meant for. I hope that everybody has a fantastic day. And I will see you guys at the next read, okay? Alrighty.